What is going on, Chess YouTube? In today's video, I'm going to show you how to crush the Vienna opening as black in just 21 moves. And to do this, I'm showing you one of my latest online blitz games where I do exactly that. Now, this right here is the Vienna opening. It occurs after the moves e4, e5, knight c3, knight f6, and finally the key Vienna move is f4, heading for sort of a king's gambit style pawn structure. Now, the problem with this opening, in my opinion, is if black knows what he's doing, if black knows how to respond, white already on move 3 is a little bit worse. I mean, why would you want to be a little bit worse as white on move 3 in the opening? To me, it makes very little sense, but a lot of white players do like to play like this. Now here, the best move for black by far is going to be d5. This is the move you want to play as black. Now here, white's idea, he's going to go f takes e5. That is by far the most common move here, and in fact, it's really the only move I see online at all. Now here, you take back with the knight and knight takes e4, winning back a pawn. And here, white has two main ideas, knight f3 and queen to f3. Now, if white goes knight f3, the move for black that I like is bishop c5, threatening all kinds of ideas on f2. Therefore, here, as white, d4 is almost forced, but then you go bishop to b4, pressuring this knight, and black is getting a fantastic game. He's ready to castle. Black is doing just outstanding here. Now, instead, in the game, white went for the other idea of queen to f3. This is the most common move here, and it's the one I see almost exclusively online as black when I defend the black side of the Vienna opening. Now, fortunately, this move right here is not hard to deal with at all. Here, as black, we play the move knight to c6. This is the easiest way to play as black. There are other ideas. The other good move for black is going to be f5. But f5 is very complicated, very messy. It's kind of harder to play. In my opinion, knight c6 is just as strong and way easier to play as black. Now, what is the threat? It's twofold. First of all, black is threatening the pawn. Knight takes e5 is being threatened, but beyond that, black is also threatening knight to d4, hitting the queen, and the c2 square, threatening knight takes c2, hitting the king and the rook. Now here, the best move for white, and the most common one by far, is going to be bishop b5. That is what white played in the game, and it's a decent idea by white. If white doesn't do that, if white takes on, say, e4, then shockingly, knight d4 is very good for black, again, threatening knight c2 and hitting the queen. Instead, if white goes, say, I don't know, queen to f4, trying to defend, then even ideas like g5 are quite strong for black. Now, instead, in the game, white went bishop b5, the most common move here for white by far. And here, the move you want to play, or the sequence you want to play, is first of all, you take this knight on c3. It's a very critical idea. Knight takes c3. Now here, no matter what white does, whether he takes back with the d pawn, the b pawn, or the queen, our idea is simple. Queen to h4 hits the king, and then we go queen to e4. For example, in the game, d takes was played. That is the best move here for white by far. And I went queen to h4, hit the king. g3 blocks the attack, queen to e4. And here, I'm basically forcing off the queens, and I head into an endgame where black is perhaps a little bit better in the endgame. We have queen takes, d takes, bishop f4. And here, the easiest way for black to play is just bishop d7 and long castles. Now, in the game, I'm feeling a little bit aggressive. I went h5, trying to start some sort of attack on the king side. And in the end, it did pay off here for black. All right, in the game, white takes, I take back, and he castles long. Long castle, a decent idea. I went bishop e6. Turns out bishop c5 is a little bit stronger here, but, you know, this move also perfectly fine. Now here, I'm sort of threatening this pawn on a2, but it's not really a threat. If white wastes a move, say knight e2, and I take, white can just go b3, intending king b2, and king takes, and he is winning that piece. So overall, this is not a very good idea for black. But in the game, white responded to the idea by going b3, and this move will lead to white's downfall in the game, and you're about to see why. All right, in the game, h4, continuing the attack. White goes knight e2, bishop c5, then knight d4, bishop d7, defending the bishop, and c6. And here, white goes rook h to e1, a good move. I take on g3. White takes back. I go bishop g4, threatening the rook. White goes rook d2. And here, the best move for black is going to be long castles. Instead, I'm still feeling a little bit aggressive. I go rook h3, trying to force out a mistake by white. And here, white gives me exactly the mistake I was hoping for. He takes this pawn on e4. Rook takes. Now, if you like puzzles, pause the video and try to figure out why this move right here by white is a massive mistake. And I mean massive game-ending mistake. It turns out black has a checkmate in 5 moves here, believe it or not. Now, I missed the idea initially, but I did find it. Here, I go g5. Attacking the bishop. I don't really know why I did this. It's not a bad idea per se. Instead, the key idea, obviously, is bishop a3, leading to a forced checkmate immediately. Now, instead I go g5. I can't tell you why I played this. I played this game myself, but, you know, this move makes no sense to me looking back. And here, white, the best move, believe it or not, the only move to defend is b4, blocking the idea of bishop a3. Now, in the game, white takes this pawn, and finally I had the eureka moment. The light bulb above my head went off, and I play the move bishop to a3. And here, white thinks for a little bit. He goes king to b1, and then rook to a1. And in this position, white simply resigns on the spot. What is the idea? Well, how do you defend the back rank? It's actually mate in 3. Rook e1, rook takes, rook d1, rook takes, bishop c1, and then rook takes. And this would be a checkmate. And for that reason, back here in this position right here, that's rook a1, rook h1, sorry, white simply resigns on the spot. A very, very brutal attacking game, which shows why the Vienna game, after, say, e4, e5, knight c3, knight f6, then f4, is not to be feared. Black goes d5, if f takes, knight c4, and if queen f3, knight c6 is very, very good for black. Again, bishop b5, the main move. We take on c3, white takes back, queen to h4, hits the king, g3, queen e5, forces the queen trade, and here black's already at least equal, if not a little bit better in the endgame. Black has nothing to worry about, and if you're curious, the best plan for black here is probably, no matter what white does, bishop d7, and long castles, and black is doing absolutely fine here. So overall, very interesting game leading to a brutal mating attack after some inaccurate moves by white, where eventually that move b3 does lead to his ultimate downfall after all the way back here. White makes the mistake, rook takes, bringing his rook off the back rank, and finally bishop a3 does decide the game like this. So very fun game, and again, the Vienna game is just not that dangerous if you know what you're doing as black. All right, Chess YouTube, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button. Comment down below what you thought of the game, of the video itself. And as always, I wish you the best of luck in your chess improvement journey in 2025 and beyond. And I'll see you in the next video.